Hey friends, how are you? Miss Nicole Brooke here. Thank you so much for coming back to watch my second video of my spiritual stories series. And if you haven't seen the first one, you really should because it's mind-blowing. And I hope you guys are ready for another mind-blowing story about how my mother has sent me a sign from the other dimension, the other realm, to show me that she's here with me. Okay, so if you remember, I am from Las Vegas, and that's where I went to take care of my mother when she was in the final stages of her life this past July 2020. Everything seems to happen in 2020, doesn't it? Well, I was gifted this amazing opportunity to be with her for 2 weeks and be able to talk to her and be with her and show her how much I love her. And the universe supported my back because my two half sisters from the part of my dad were able to come down to Vegas to help me clear out my mom's house and my house, my childhood home. So you could imagine like 25 years of just stuff in there. And she was a hoarder and she had too many things. So thank goodness my sisters came down. And so it was interesting timing because when they came, my mother actually was transported to a hospice service in an actual facility. And so I went there with her and I was not going to leave her side. And so my sisters actually started getting a role on all of the moving, packing process. And they just started doing everything while I was at the hospice center with my mom. And so I told them, take things for your kids, take things for you. I don't care. Just get it out of the house. That was my main priority. And so I wasn't sure what they took, what they didn't. And I didn't really care. And so when I got back to my house after my mother passed away, I only had to do the little things, pictures, and the last final details. And so I packed up my rental car and I headed straight up to Portland, Oregon to spend time with my sisters and their families and the kiddos, of course. And so I find myself in my nephew's room and I start to look around and I see a book on the floor and I see that it was the Rugrats. And I was like, oh my God, a Rugrats book. I love Rugrats. Yeah, 90s kids would appreciate this. And so I was already feeling like a calling to this book, and I didn't know why. My intuition was just like, read this book, Nicole. And so I skimmed it. The Bestest Mom, sign number one. Rugrats, sign number two. I grew up with that show. And so I just decided to skim it just to see kind of what it was about when I realized, sign number three, it's about Chucky's mom who died when he was a baby. Did you know that? I had no idea. And so I started skimming through it and I told my nephew, I'm like, look at this letter that Chucky's mom wrote to him. It's so beautiful. And actually, I'd like to read it to you guys. You didn't know you were getting story time with me too, right? My sweet little Chucky, though I must leave you behind me, this poem will tell you where you can always find me. When a gentle wind blows, that's my hand on your face. When the trees give you shade, that's my sheltering embrace. When the sun gives you freckles, that's me tickling my boy. When the rain wets your hair, those are my tears of joy. When the long grass enfolds you, that's me holding you tight. When the whippoorwill sings, which I don't know what that is, that's me whispering, night, night. And so I just knew that this was my mom writing me this letter because towards the end of her life, like she wasn't able to write or read or anything like that. So I'm like, this must have been her way to leave something for me. But that's not where the story ends, friends. So I told my nephew, let's take this book to our camping trip tonight and we can read it. Little did I know during my first camping trip ever that there wouldn't be enough light or time to read a book. And so we didn't. The next morning, though, when I came back to the house and I was unpacking my things, I found the book again. And at this point, I was by myself and I stood in the doorway of the patio overlooking this gorgeous flower bouquet that my sister made and dedicated to my mom. And so I opened the book up again, looking to read it this time. and my eyes started filling with tears because look, I had given this book to my mom when I was 7 years old. It must have been for Mother's Day. I had no idea. I did not remember this. My sister didn't tell me this book existed. I had no idea that they took it to then give it to me. And it was like, oh my God, like I gave this to my mom for a gift and now she's giving it back to me as a gift. This was the ultimate gift that I needed. This beautiful sign that she has gone up into the other spiritual realm and that she's here for me and she's looking after me and she loves me and she's protecting me and that our relationship is not over. It's nothing but over. Like, no way. It's now just a new kind of relationship, a different kind of relationship. It's really actually fun. I just get spiritually aligned. I ask my mom for signs, send me something, show me that you're here. And she does. And this book was one of the first big signs of her telling me, Nicole, look, I'm here. I'm here with you. And that letter, I wrote that letter for you. And this book traveled all the way over here without you knowing. And here I'm giving it back to you. Ugh, I just get so excited when these signs happen. And so that's what I want to tell you. Again, just because your loved one has passed away does not mean that your relationship has ended. No way. They're there with you every minute, every big occasion, every holiday. They're there with you and they're protecting you and they're going to be there for you in ways that you never knew was possible. The way that they were never able to be there for you before. Such a blessing. And so if you would like to hear more spiritual stories of mine, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Miss Nicole Brooke, MissNicoleBrooke. And the same thing for my website, www.missnicolebrooke.com, so you can keep updated on my spiritual stories. And let me know, how are you liking these signs? How are you liking these videos? And let me know if there's anything I can do for you as your own spiritual empowerment coach. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time for my next story. Ciao.